Welcome to the Black on the Block podcast, where we're all about preserving the black family. Everything is pro-black, but don't get it twisted. We respect everyone, but we love our people first.
What up, y'all? This is your soul sister, K. Marie, and we are Black on the Block.
This your favorite guy, Coach Scrap, and you listen to Black on the Block podcast.
This is your humble servant, Pops, and you are listening to Black on the Block.
Hey, y'all. This your girl, Nika B. Welcome to Black on the Block.
Say, open the door, let me in. Teach your song, preach your sins. Turn the cheek, let it slide. Give 5 on the black hand side.
Here we go. Say what? Yeah. What's up? It's another episode of Black on the Block podcast, and you're kicking it where the block always hot. K. Marie, how we doing this morning?
I'm great.
Nika B, what was looking like out there?
Looking great.
And the humble servant Pops, what's up, brother?
Hey, Scrap, I'm just trying to hold this thing in the road, man.
Hey, listen, we got started today with hard out here with a pimp. Man, listen, it's been going down. Wives trying to leave. We got men out here thinking they the prize. If they are, if they ain't, who knows? And we got, it seems like in this day and time with this generation, can't nobody seem to be together. Everybody just want to have a situationship or something. But we're going to get into it today. We got a great show today. And I'm ready to just jump right off into it. First off, my man, Judge Mathis. And I love dude. I love watching the show. He keeps me laughing. Is he the one to be on the calling everybody a crackhead too?
Nah, that's Joe Brown. Yeah, matter of fact, that is.
Yeah, he do.
He call you a crackhead.
You right.
I don't like
crackhead behavior.
Yeah, that's crackhead. That's crackheadish right there.
Yeah.
But apparently, him and his wife, they've been together for a while, over a decade, over 2 decades, I believe.
They said nearly 40 years, actually.
39 years.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you, to be honest, but we're gonna get into it. But let me say this: whatever's going on in your marriage after 40 years, just stick that out. Don't nobody else want you. You bringing 40 years of baggage to somebody else.
Nobody else wants it.
Nah, nobody trying to deal with that. Because you can get used to, if she meets somebody today, she's gonna be making somebody else, she's gonna be making a man his sandwich.
They might not want nobody else.
You see what I'm saying?
40 years, they like it's over.
But it was a lot of allegations that so I don't know if y'all heard this. It was allegations that he was supposed to have molested somebody or was sleeping with somebody underage. It was rumors out that he was cheating or whatever, and we're gonna get to that too, because he didn't really answer the question when they asked him was he cheating. But it was a lot. I know I watched the clip and I like the way he took ownership of it. And the biggest thing he said is that I took our time together for granted. You know, of course he's on TV. He's a celebrity. He always has the fly here and fly there. One of the biggest things he said, when he's not doing that, he's hanging out with his homeboys, as I guess celebrities as well, and they flying out and flying wherever and doing whatever. And that's a big thing. But this is the question I pose. I want to jump in first, because obviously he's been on TV for years. Why now? Like what? Like did you just get tired of it now? Because obviously he's been doing the same routine for quite some time. So why now? K. Marie, you can get started with that if you want to.
Well, based on what he said in the short clip I watched, he and his wife had addressed these issues before. She had already talked to him about her concerns. And he didn't change his behaviors. So it sounds like it was an ongoing issue.
Pops, what you got on that?
Well, I heard what he said. I looked at, I don't know if it was the same clip, Scrap. What you laughing at that, Scrap? But
you said like you don't trust him. I heard what he said.
You know what? and he did. He said some real nice things.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder. I know that he did have a very long running show, and he said he was a very busy man. And I wondered if maybe he was home more. And then they started having certain conversations, and that's when things blew up. Sometimes you think you have a good thing going until you start getting around that person more. So I wondered if maybe, contrary to what he said, if when they started being around each other a little bit more, she saw, I, for whatever reason, I just can't do it, because 39 years is a long time. But it had to be, I would imagine, something significant to make you say after 39 years, they met when they were in college. They've gone through ups, they've gone through downs. And at this point, she said, you know what? I can't do it. And one thing, he is very conciliatory. It's on me. So I want to know the rest of the story. It's something left out.
Yeah.
So, Pops, if that were the case, why wouldn't he just say that?
Well, if I was a guy and I had done a lot wrong, I would say a lot of the right damn things in public, because I might not want her to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So him being an intelligent man, him being a guy that understands the law, and he has a way of crafting things in a narrative. If I were him and I had done a lot that was wrong, I would make her understand that, look, I want you back. And I would, for the public, do not look in her direction. Don't poke that bear, because that bear might tell the truth. That's what I would say.
Nika B, after 39 years, you're leaving. What's going on?
I don't know if I would leave or not, just depending on the circumstances. I mean, since they met prior to him being famous and having money, I mean, financially, regardless of where she stays or goes, she's probably good, right? So if we go with, let's say, Pop's narrative, I mean, I don't take a loss if I leave, right? So maybe it is, I've been around them a little bit more and now we can't stand each other. I mean, retired couples, go through that all the time. However, I think it's probably more believable that they have had previous discussions about it. It brings to mind to me, it's a show, I think it's in the second season, I think it's on Hulu, Reasonable Doubt. It's opposite of that, where the wife is a lawyer and she makes promises to her husband over and over. Hey, after this case, I'm gonna take a break. After this case, I'm gonna make our family a priority.
I've seen that.
Yeah, he gets tired of taking the back seat, and so they marriage go through quite a bit. And it is an African American couple, so I can definitely see that being the case. He mentioned in his video, like, he flying out to this event, like you said, Coach, and then hanging out with my friends. Well, then why I can't go? You know what I'm saying? Like, we partners in this. You fly me out, we go together and we do things together. And I think when you make a habit of having such separate lives, maybe then when it's time to actually conjoin, then there's conflict. So
yeah, because I mean, 39 years, that's a long time. You look at a 10-year marriage or a 5-year marriage, prior to, you don't even want to be loved the same. After 5 or 6 years, as we all grow and we tend to get different interests that we like, and we see different things, we pick up new hobbies or whatever the case may be. We want to be treated different. We want to be loved different. We want to be talked to a different way. And I think you miss out on that when, like you said, you're on the road all the time, you with your homeboys all the time. So he's probably missed it, and this is not for him. This is for her. He's probably missed a lot of her growth. He's probably she ain't the same girl you met in college.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if she has a garden at home, Nika B, that she was working on or not. Or I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that time when he was gone, she probably, I mean, she done got bored and she done probably hung out with some of her girls, and the wrong woman to hang around when you married is a single woman. And they don't hang around them. Leave them alone.
It depends on the type style.
It does, definitely.
Then I wouldn't have no friends.
Leave him alone.
Now my question is, well, I'm not sure how old he is, but I mean, he's been married for almost 40 years, so safe to say he's
Old as
elderly.
hell.
Okay, so exactly. So what is your old ass doing hanging out with your boys, jet
Don't
setting
do
and
that.
shit? You
Don't
ought to
do
be
that.
sitting down some damn where. What?
Don't do that. Don't do that. The man
I'm
said
gonna
he
do
was
that.
going to
You ought to
Super
be
Bowl
sitting your old
parties
ass
and
down
stuff.
somewhere. Okay,
He said he was going to
okay.
Super Bowl parties. Who you know
Well,
22
you are not a young bachelor. Sit your ass
Who
down
do you
somewhere.
know that's 22 years old that can afford a Super Bowl ticket?
Okay, you ought to have all that shit out of your system.
Them
Okay,
$20,000 a pop.
you need to sit your ass down somewhere.
He
Okay,
got a lot of community organizations he was helping.
yeah, he
was
ain't doing
helping
all
out
that
the
shit. He's not doing all that. Let's just
He was
keep it real. He ain't doing all that. And I
nonprofits
find it hard to
Yeah.
believe you hanging out, your rich ass
Yeah.
hanging out with your boys like that, and you ain't cheating. Negro,
But
please.
so just going back,
Man,
he
you
definitely
wrong for that.
sidestepped
He didn't answer that question.
Yeah, he
did that.
He's a little one too.
You did,
Yeah.
boy, please.
But this is the thing. So can we expect again, told y'all before, I'm the only single one. Well, never been married. Pardon me. Okay. All right, K-Marie. All right. I'm the only one who has not been married before. But in a 40-year marriage, and y'all tell me, can you expect absolutely no infidelities? I don't know if that's believable.
Yeah.
Whether it's physical, emotional.
Yeah,
Like I don't buy that.
You can expect it.
I think it's rare.
Yeah.
I think it's rare.
Probability.
I don't think you should leave someone after one indiscretion. Now, depending on the situation, I think couples should work through things, but patterns of behavior definitely are concerning and you should not tolerate. But that's a whole nother discussion.
Cheat on me, see what happens.
Hey, I don't even want something in my bag of Cheetos. Don't even put
You
your
see what
hand
I'm
in my bag of Cheetos.
You see what I'm saying?
You can have the chips.
I think again, whole nother discussion because I think there are probably some biases in that whole.
I don't like too much shit in my trunk.
Yeah.
Plenty
Men
of
and women.
standards.
I think women put up
double
with a lot
there.
more. With a lot more than what men do.
Yeah. I would love to have a whole nother discussion on that thing.
Yeah, I disagree. Been married for a while. No infidelity.
Well, congrats.
Well, thank
you.
Yeah,
Teach a class.
Yeah, I'm
Black men
definitely
don't
team Coach Scrap. Yeah.
Black men don't cheat.
But I'm damn sure glad because I'm trying to meet my black king. Shit.
They're all over the place. But
okay.
She's just not looking hard enough.
Okay.
Right. Might be at your local store.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go grocery shopping today.
Now most kings have concubines now.
What the hell? Okay.
I said most kings have concubines.
Okay, well, I want that. I'm looking at that small percentage that don't.
I don't think you're gonna find one today.
Okay.
Moving forward. But the thing is, I don't want nobody get in trouble.
Besides the point.
But the thing is, though, I'm with Pops on this though, and dude, he said some good stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
He said the right thing.
I'm taking notes just in case I might get in the bind one day. Might need
No, because black men don't cheat.
Right.
And you don't tolerate that.
What I'm saying is I might be in a bind to where I ain't spending enough time. I'm into too much. I need to have the right stuff to say because I was about to take him back.
No, you learn from his mistakes. That's what he said in the video. He wants other black men to learn from his mistakes.
Look, Nika B said it great. It's not about what the judge said. It's about what he probably didn't say.
Facts.
But he said what he said good. And
that's what people do in public. That's what we do.
Right.
And that's what everybody was talking about. All the good stuff that he said and what I thought immediately, and I said this even before Judge came out and made that video, when folks were saying, I don't believe it. I don't believe she wanted a divorce after all those years. What I said, I bet Judge said, yeah, please leave her alone.
Man,
leave her because she probably saying I'm gonna stay quiet as long as you don't make me.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Because you understand, I'll ruin you, boy. So when you go out there in front of them cameras, you better make sure you have your mouth fixed right.
Right. He probably got all type of pictures with his leg cocked up, with his robe on. And ain't no telling what he got out there.
Yeah, and I would say
put it out there.
Yes, you know, we are natural investigators. So for her not to know, she probably knows everything. Yeah.
And
So
with the resources she
shout.
had, she probably had some professional
absolutely.
investigators.
Yeah. I mean, professionals would definitely help, but I do a lot on my own, believe
Yeah, I'm
me.
about to say, I don't think if you take the natural black woman, she don't need no resources. She born with it.
When I
She born with it.
when I saw that woman's face, you know, I thought if not going was a person, she ain't going.
I know for sure, man.
Really? I need to look
When
her
I
up.
looked at her,
I hadn't seen her.
she got the face. She not going. She's not to
Oh,
be
okay.
played with. Now look
Oh,
at her
not
face.
to be
You
effed with.
Tell me
Okay.
what you think when you look at her.
Okay. I need
Yeah,
to look
Nika
her
B.
up.
Look at Nika
Let
B
me
right
look
there.
her up.
Look, you see Nika B face?
Don't do
Let me look that thing up. Okay.
Nika B ain't going, Paul.
Okay.
She ain't going.
Okay. Let me look that thing up.
And also it could be the possibility that after 40 years, maybe she's talked all she can talk.
Exactly.
Maybe she did this
Tired of it.
to kind of
Sick
jolt
and
him
tired.
and to bring it back to reality. I don't know. We'll
But
see.
girl, why wait 40 years? Because I'm like, Coach Scrap, who gonna want you?
Right.
You know,
Stop
and, you
it,
know,
Ray.
I'm
Stop
divorced.
Ray.
She may be at a point where she got enough money and resources that's not what she wants to do. Like her lifestyle is not going to change.
Yeah,
What you gonna
that's
do?
true. But I mean, everybody, I do believe, wants love and companionship. You might convince yourself that you don't, but everybody wants that. And, you know, I'm divorced. And, you know, leading up to my divorce, I asked myself, is this something you are willing to tolerate for the next 30 to 40 years?
Oh,
And each time I asked myself that, the answer was no. And I actually met someone who finally decided to leave an unhealthy relationship, an unhealthy marriage at 66 years old. And I'm like, lady.
that was crazy. She shouldn't have did that.
Stop it, cause okay, so she shouldn't have went that long. But everybody has their own journey. At 66, how many years you got left?
If I'm the person that got to sign off on the divorce and you walk in here and anything 25 over, y'all go figure that out. I'm not approving that.
You can't be out here violating folks.
I'm not approving that. Go figure that out. Y'all done graduated some kids.
Right.
Now, go ahead on. Grandkids come to your house and have fun.
Yeah.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
And just imagine how hard it is for, just the everyday person that does not have the finances and the resources that Judge Mathis's wife has to leave a relationship after all those years. That's just crazy to me, but
yeah, I don't think those people leave.
Some do, but
I think you made a very good point, K. Marie, though. Like asking yourself, how deep is it to ask yourself that question? Like, can I tolerate? I might love this person, right? I may even, care about this person still deeply, but can I tolerate this for the next 10 years, 20 years, 10 minutes? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Because they say divorce is like right next to death. When it comes
it
to
is. You grieve that.
Yeah, this is like right next to death.
It is. Even if you initiate it, you still grieve it. It is,
Because ultimately, when you get married, you've made a choice that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with this person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's basically what you're saying when you do it. I don't care if you shoot off to the courthouse real quick or whatever. You saying I'm willing to spend the rest of my life with this person.
Yeah.
And going back to what you said, when you taking those vows and you saying for better or for worse, and you got to sit back and ask yourself, am I really worse and got worser? And am I really open to going through this for the next, like what you say, Nick, could be 10 minutes? Am I really open to going?
It's been plenty of people on Snap that couldn't go the next 10 minutes,
Yeah, they couldn't go the next 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's bigger than what is being put out.
Oh, of course.
It got to be way more to it. And it ain't just no time. Like it sound good. I wouldn't spend time with her. Nah, because she probably wants you around no way. But
you're right about that.
Yeah, she probably Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it might be what Pop said. He might be spending more time at the house, and
yeah,
and they're just not connected like that anymore.
Right, the gardener can't come in no more.
Like, go on.
Yeah, we ain't act like
Now let me say this:
Pool boy can't come in no more.
How many of you all have watched the show, Judge Mathis?
I have not.
Yeah. Well, they got a reality show, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about his courtroom. And if
I've not watched any of it.
I'll give you all a homework assignment.
Oh
Go
Lord.
and watch several of his episodes.
I feel like I'm
And
in therapy now.
And one thing that I noticed, regarding temperament, there are a lot of guys that kind of laid back. They're not up and down, up and down. The judge, his emotions, they swung severely. So he might be joking 1 minute, and then he seems to be he can get escalated quickly. Some people can
I
go
heard
from
about that
0 to
temperament.
and so sometimes when you have that, it can create a strain if you and your spouse are around each other often. It works okay. It works a lot better when one spouse or both spouses are busy and away. But the pandemic illustrated that a lot of people, they didn't like each other as much as they thought they did. And that's why I think you hear and even around holidays, instances of domestic violence and separation, it goes up. You get that week off from work and you got to be around this joker. You like, man, I don't even like you. You know what I'm saying? You only liked him because he was or she was seeing that other person fleetingly. But when you have to stay around a person, sometimes do you really, really like being around?
Yeah. And I feel for people in that position. Like Nika B said, a lot of retired couples go through that. And I know, retired couples going through that. And I really feel for them.
I want to go through that though.
What would you do?
I want to be old and retired and arguing every day.
Yeah, you think you do. Why would you want to argue every day? You think you're gonna have some good makeup sex or something? Why would you want to do that?
First of all, at that age, I don't care about that.
Oh, okay.
Don't touch me.
Well, okay.
Or go to the corner store.
So why do you want to argue every day?
Because it let me know I love you.
Really?
Lord, toxic and retired love.
Yeah, retired. Toxic and
like
retired.
A reality show.
Look,
that's okay. A reality show.
Listen, if I'm 70 years old, ain't nobody about to look. You ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Sit down.
Well,
and
apparently Judge Mathis' wife is.
Well,
and I just looked her up. She does not look like she's old enough to have been married for 39 years. She does look good, so she probably will get someone else.
Oh, young boy.
Yeah, Mike got somebody else. Yeah. Like Mike said,
sometimes that's the push you need, right? Yeah.
It's the pool. She probably got the pool boy over there.
the landscaper here, the dude that delivered DoorDash. Yeah,
right. She let him walk around the house with his with Judge Mathis robes on and stuff. Hit the gavel,
DoorDash daily.
He said breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, sir. You should have been taking care of home, sir. You should have been nicer, sir.
Yeah, that was Judge Mathis need to take that account. And figure out why DoorDash is 7 times a day. And it's the same guy.
Nah, he got with his friends. He cool.
I'm gonna tell you something. That'll bring your ass home. You ain't gonna be with your friends no more once you find. Hey, Doc, I got to leave right now.
Right.
We leaving right now. Y'all have fun. I'm leaving.
Ooh, not the red eye.
Oh, man. Get out of here. Fuel me up. Get me out of here. I gotta get to the house
right now.
Right, I gotta get there right now. But yeah, but I definitely want to pay close attention to that situation and see how it unfolds. I'm pretty sure we're not even scratching the surface of what this thing really is.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And I can't blame him for not telling the full story, because who's going to air all of their dirty laundry? And, honestly, we don't have a right to that information. But since he's a public figure, the information, we can't help but to be curious about it.
His partners he went to the Super Bowl with, Kyle. He said, they probably told him, boy, you full of shit. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that. But.
And I wonder, go ahead.
He might be telling the truth.
He might be.
That's right.
However,
that's right.
I do wonder if he really wants to keep his wife or if he's trying to protect that money.
No, come on.
I think
men ain't like that.
Is that not one and the same? Don't they coincide?
Right.
Keep it a keeper.
For sure.
Hey, you heard the song.
Right.
I'm
always rooting for Black love, so I hope they work it out.
Me too.
Right.
Me too.
Hey,
you know, but I mean, I hope he changes his behaviors. I mean, an apology can only go so far. The true apology is a change of behavior and consistent change behavior.
Why he got to change his behavior?
Oh, but he has to change his behavior. What you talking about?
She need to go to the
maybe she's a homebody, Coach.
Maybe she wanted to go to the Super Bowl, but he didn't take her. He didn't want to take her because he was hanging with his boys.
I don't want my wife with me and I'm with
I just think realistically, especially men with money and power, you know, I mean, regular dudes get stuff thrown at them on a regular basis nowadays.
Exactly.
So money and power.
Thank you.
Regular dudes.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's why I said you cannot
emphasize.
That's why you cannot make me believe he was not getting some on the side.
Right.
When he was just sitting like some young man.
Right.
Bro, please.
Yeah.
So
allegedly.
Nobody
allegedly. We can't afford to get sued. Allegedly, sir.
You don't never want to put women in the box. Men get
I'm saying it could definitely be you said the pool boy. DoorDash. Check that out, right?
But
so
don't nobody
it can go both ways.
I said don't nobody ever want to bring up.
What?
It's always the woman unhappy. No, she over there fiddly-faddling with.
She filed though.
He said it. He said he was wrong. He's owning everything.
So we can only go by the information that's presented. This is like in the courtroom. I can't.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Flag on the play.
Hold on. We're not saying that she wasn't wrong. He was just wronger.
Right. Right.
I'll concede to that.
You know what I'm saying? She got some skeletons, but
it takes two.
It
takes two.
And to be honest
all
with
we know
you,
is his story.
But being honest with you, if you're a smart man, and going back to what Nika B said, I don't care if you're a regular dude or a guy with money and power, it would probably behoove you.
That's right.
To just say what the fuck you did.
There you go. Boy, Scrap bringing out one of the
K. Marie terms. Y'all know I'm gonna get it.
That's a K. Marie term. Behoove.
Yeah, it would definitely behoove you to just talk about you.
You right about that shit.
Because one thing about it, two things for sure. When you mess with a black woman, you ain't got to be cheated. She can hit you below the belt. She'll put something out on you.
She know every pressure point in the business.
Now you hear me? So you leave well enough alone.
You have you sleeping in a fetal position.
Come on, man. So,
not in a good way. Not in a good way.
How was a good way? I want to talk about
absolutely.
that later on.
Absolutely. We'll talk later.
Okay. Yeah.
What is a good way? Hey, but listen, let's nigga B spoke on it. I think we all feel the same. I'm definitely a fan of black love. I'm definitely a fan of marriages lasting and not ending. So I definitely hope they figure it out. I definitely hope it works out. And the pool boy and the DoorDash guy gets the hell away from them people's house.
We rooting for you, Judge. We rooting for you, Judge.
Rooting for you, brother.
Black love.
All right, so I didn't watch I think I saw like maybe one clip of Tyrese. Like I can't stand Tyrese. So I can't stomach him long. So what's suggested?
We can jump in and jump out. I mean, he been a bitch ass nigga to be honest with you.
Really?
Scrap. You gonna pull one of those clips up, or you gonna?
Man, bro, I definitely can't put. I can pull it up.
So Nika B can see the even the way he's sitting and his outfit.
Now I saw he had a black and gold outfit or something, right? Is that right?
Yeah, acting like he ain't goddamn do back.
Dashiki? Oh, okay.
He had the wing tip shoes on.
You were definitely cultured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a unique outfit.
What was he being a bitch about? Like his relationship or everything?
Won't be couples goals if them niggas upload them arguing every goddamn day. Right.
Bet you they'll go for couples goals.
Because you put a filter on it, you didn't cut and paste it, you didn't grab the ribbon and bought that motherfucker Hermes bag so she didn't deserve. You just met this nigga. Fuck you bought 12 Hermes bags for. The Birkin with the gator. Shit. $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 for that thing. You just got this nigga. You just met her last week. You just sent her a DM. What are you doing? You're insecure. You're buying too much shit trying to impress somebody, but what you're doing for them because you know they don't feel that way about you.
We need to
So you're
discuss
trying
that.
to purchase your way into feelings.
Huh.
You put the shit up on Instagram, and you got everybody believing that the love is the love, but you have purchased your way into the love. That
Let's
nigga don't
talk
feel
about
that
it.
way about you. That's uncomfortable. So you put a filter on it, you edit it, you cut and paste it, and then you're living in it. You've been living the lie for so goddamn long, you believe your own lie. You've been telling that same lie over lunches and dinners sitting across from other couples. They're real. Your shit is fake. Y'all niggas argued all the way to the restaurant and all the way home. You're sleeping in 2 different rooms. When you gonna upload that? When you gonna upload the fact that I love you, but I don't like you? When they gonna put that out there? They not gonna do it. The concept of couples goals is way more sexy than niggas knowing I hate your goddamn guts.
I hate the goal.
I like it.
Yeah, that's just a lot to digest, everything he said. Yeah, a lot.
Let me ask you this: what's the pressure? What do you feel like the pressure is?
I mean, for
because
someone to say your goal, I mean,
Yeah.
people, I mean, that's like putting someone, putting individuals and couples on a pedestal. No
Yeah.
one should be on a pedestal. No one deserves to be put on a pedestal. Again, no one is perfect.
Right.
Every couple, every person has their shit.
Yeah.
And again, like I said about Judge Mathis earlier, no one is going to put their dirty laundry out there. No one has to. No one should. That's no one's business. You don't know what couples are going through behind those closed doors.
Right. And I'm glad you brought up the Judge Mathis situation because switching gears, when we look at Tyrese and his situation, and it's hard to really talk about it because there's always 2 sides to the coin. Especially once it's done and over with, there's 2 sides to the coin. And you know, on one side he looks at it like it was just something that happened, it just up and boom, and I want to leave. And up and boom, I want to take the kid. And I know she had a lot of, his ex-wife, she had a lot of negative things to say about him. Which I can believe certain things because he did admit to having some mental health issues. He did admit, it was a couple people that had issues with him because he had certain breakdowns and he was acting a certain way. He might have said certain things. So it was a time in his life where a lot of people had issues with him. And if the person you're living with got to deal with that and digest it the most, and I can see why, you know, she probably don't want to be there no more. And if you express some of these things in front of your kid, I can see why a wife or a woman want to remove a kid from seeing their father like that.
And she's a licensed clinical social worker. And I have an issue with her speaking so publicly about him. And I feel she needs to be more discreet in discussing her marriage on a public forum.
I think she's also a podcaster too, right?
Yeah. And again, you need to be more discreet. You know, there are some things, you know, I'm willing to share on this podcast, but I'm going to be careful about what I share on this podcast because of my code of ethics.
Right, but the code of ethics, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that's pertaining to like patients and stuff, right? Like she has a right to discuss her personal relationship.
She does, but she needs to be careful if she's discussing mental health and his mental health and just mental health in general.
According to who though? It's like if
Right,
she's a podcaster,
I mean, when you
the mission statement of her podcast or whatever is to be organic, and I think that she's clearly putting the desires of what her followers want above maybe the professional side, because you know you surrender some things when you come out to the public like this.
Yeah,
and often, you know, some people are uber professional. Some people might even be called sticklers for details. So they might be so detailed that they adhere to all of the code of ethics. Where some people, when they are seeking money, as Tyrese said, that she might be one that's seeking money. If she sees that her YouTube followers or whatever she's on, TikTok, whatever platform, and she sees that that's generating the income, she's probably leaning into that, and that was probably an excellent narrative to gain more followers and attention.
Yeah.
What if she said though? Like, I don't know her, so I wouldn't even know if she was sitting right across from me.
To answer your question, nigga B, it seemed like when they was going through what they was going through, it seemed like she tried to paint a picture, dude, like he was a sociopath or some shit.
And it could very well be true. And that,
For sure.
Sure. And I'm not in that field, but for me, I think she has a right to speak on her personal opinion.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think we have to take away from the fact that they rich and famous, not like you still a human being. Man, when you hurt, man, you don't give a damn. I just seen the ordinary person go through a divorce. You don't give a damn about how they feel. You don't give a damn about whatever issue. It's really your time to put all what you need to put out how you feel about it. Cause this is your story. It's from the lens of your eyes. So I mean, she don't give a damn about what you got going on.
Well, and and for me again, and everybody has the right to their opinion, and people do have a right to express themselves. I'm divorced, and I've shared some of my experiences and my feelings around my marriage and my divorce with my circle.
Right.
And my circle is tight like a square. And again, there are some things that I might share on the podcast. I'm going to be vague because I do care. And yes, I have a right to share my story, my feelings, but I do take into consideration how that might impact my ex, because we do share that story.
And that's great.
But
and
everyone is different.
I think that's a matter of personal ethics. I don't know that it's necessarily professional ethics in that scenario. It's just my thing. Right. I
think if it spills into possibly implying what someone's mental health diagnosis is, it could.
Possibly. Again, I'm not in that field. However, if that's my personal experience with my husband, and I know I woke up every morning, him being what is a sociopath, clearly he has some issues, and I'm not in the field, never will be, nor do I desire to be. But you can spot some mental health issues just by looking at somebody sometimes. So, right. I mean,
but would it be against ethics? Like Nika B stated earlier, he's not her patient. But is that professional or is that personal?
I think it could get murky.
I think it's both. I think it's both.
And again,
but I don't know if she said.
I don't think that, and this is me of the times I've heard her. She was not trying to put out his diagnosis. She was not trying to talk about what he had going on. She was talking about the shit that he got going on and how it affected her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then in that case, it's her personal ethics, and I just don't agree with it.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you wrong me, I'm airing you out.
And also, you gotta understand this too. Regards to the profession, let's say if you do have a license to protect, when I'm up against regular license money, no disrespect, versus like Pop said, I'm getting hits and likes and I'm getting monetized on social media, and I'm comparing the two. You want to come for my license, come for my license. That's not where the bulk of my income is coming from. I can still go on and do other things with or without a license. And so I think we also, and maybe everybody wouldn't think on that level, but if we believe the narrative that Tyrese paints was that she is ultimately a gold digger, then that's what she's gonna heir to anyway.
But he got to pay her a handsome amount monthly as well too.
Yeah,
he got to pay her a good chunk of change.
Yeah,
I would just think though, with her being in the field that she's in, that she would have a little more empathy around his situation. But I don't know what again, like I said earlier, we don't know what couples are going through. We don't know what's going on behind those closed doors.
I mean, I definitely, I don't know. I do know for the last couple of years, instead of good music being put out, he been having a lot going on.
He has released some damn good music.
Wasn't it bad? Here recently?
Back in the day.
He has been channeling his pain through that music. That music has been fire.
Hey, you talking about when it come to love song? If you going through what Brother Tyrese is going
Coach. I want you, Coach.
They hit different. Hey,
okay, Pop.
They hit different.
Okay, he is the male version of Mary J. Blige. Okay, is he not, Pop?
What?
Well,
Don't do Mary J.
I think
I'm finna log off.
Don't do
log
Tyrese
off.
like that. Don't do
Right,
that.
that's right.
Don't
But you
sleep
know
on
what?
Tyrese.
I think that the latest songs that he's doing, I think that they are speaking to folks guys that are going through it. Because I've known some dudes that were going through it, and it's like they not Tyrese fans, but they were fans of that music.
I'm telling you.
And probably 15 years up the road, when they hear that track, it's gonna take them back to when they were suffering.
Make a believe out of me. Can we have them on as guests, please?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
I'm telling you, that one song, Shane, he said, what am I going to do with these kids?
With them what? Mama doing what?
With these kids, boy.
Send them to mama house.
He's speaking in these last songs.
He is.
I had to check it out. I had to check it out.
What he was meaning, what he gonna do with the kids?
He's speaking for men whose wives, whose women have left them.
So do the same thing with the kids that most men do with the kids when their wife leave their ass.
What is it?
With their mama.
He said, look,
that's not good.
Hey, Scrap, he said $20,000 a month in child support. Who is that money really for?
That's a lot of money, y'all. Like, that's a lot of money.
It's for the same person when you got to pay $200 a month.
Now, $200 a month is not.
The way I heard him hollering out, he gonna be up and down sometime, especially if you out on the West Coast in California.
For sure.
Boy, those laws.
Yeah, it's different. They hit different.
Yeah, they don't seem to be fair.
You need to move.
Though, I know people that's getting $150 a month for child support. They get their
That's crazy.
So if you can't be responsible with if you can't be responsible with $150 a month, let one of them get a check in the mail for $20,000.
Oh, it's a wrap.
we push the kids down trying to get move. You hell.
What are these people who are getting child support required to turn in receipts like at the end of the year? Can we get some audits here?
You know what? When I tell you I know the perfect system.
What is that?
Now look here, K. Marie. Now see this is something that I'm ready for anybody to challenge any opinion I have on this.
I'm ready.
Because I'm knee deep in this here. But this is the perfect thing, the solution. Anytime there's child support brought in, what you do, the mother of the child pays in 50% to the state, the father pays in 50% to the state. 100% of that goes to the child in the form of vouchers. It's tracked on, food, shelter, housing, medical, whatever it is, but it's a voucher system. The money can't be used for things outside of things that pertains to the child, even if it's private school, whatever it is. But both parties, since both of them are responsible for the child, one party pays in 50%, the other one pays in 50%. Then 100% is for the child, and it's tracked through a voucher system.
It needs to be tracked. I was just wondering, could it at least be put on a freaking card like EBT? It needs to be tracked.
You know what?
On a card.
It is? Pops, I didn't know.
I kind of agree with your Pops, but I kind of don't.
For the state, anyway.
Tell me where you disagree.
I'm going to tell you, it's not for male or female. It's not male or female. It's just the person. My thing is, whatever parent has priority with their child, and I'm having to do the day-to-day stuff with this child. The lights on over here. The groceries over here. The bulk of what's going on with the help of the homework and the picking you up from school and getting you back and forth to sports and all that stuff is on me. I can't just see myself paying that same 50 with you if I'm taking care of this every day.
But you know why it makes sense? Because 100% goes to the child. It's not about
in what capacity. Roof over your head is going to the child. Lights are going to the child.
Yeah, that's going to be paid anyway, regardless.
Going back and forth is going how is that
right.
tracked? And we trust the government to do that? This government that we have to do that?
And see, that's why I say, you know what, you because see, for too long the system has been a punitive situation. It's not punitive. If it feels like, because I've heard it said, I don't care what people talk about in theory, practically when somebody get mad, they use the system and they'll beat somebody over the head because they're angry. This would remove all of that, because and it might not even have to just be a voucher system. But see, the funds are for the child. And so, and what you're saying, Scrap, it makes sense about if you're doing more, but often the system don't care if the father might want the children as much as the mom. He might
No,
want
I
to
mean
get
for
some
sure.
of that.
I mean, yeah. That's
But the thing is, so if that 100% of the money, it can be used for whatever is good for the child. If it means getting them t-ball bats and putting them in extracurricular, she can use that money however she sees fit for the benefit of the child. But it can't be to get your nails done, for
Yeah.
pedicures, manis, and
So-
pedis, and massages.
So what do you do? What do you do when you was the wife that was with the NBA player that makes $50 million a year?
Yeah. So yeah,
then-
I
At a
agree.
certain dollar amount, it should be. But
Now,
I
what I'm
think
saying is,
percentages.
how can they go 50-50?
Yeah, they can't. So you need to do the percentage. So I don't agree with 50-50. I
But
think we need to
hold on.
consider the income
You
of each parent.
Now when you get to that, when it's an NBA player, this is what I feel. I feel like it should be some caps on the child support now, because
Yeah.
I don't think because there becomes a time where it's excessive, and I think that money that is in excess to go into a trust for the child. So now, if a child is out in California and there's a private school, whatever is acceptable, because if the private school is $50,000 a year, well, that's where the money is going.
Yeah.
But and some cases might have to go case by case. We have to have common sense. But I think we have to break this system down and make it more practical.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, just take the whole damn child support system away.
And then what do you do for parents who don't take care of their kids willingly? What do you do with those parents? Because they are out there. Parents who have the means and they just don't.
Yeah, fuck them.
No, because kids need and deserve to be taken care of, and you have
Let me tell
many
you
single
something.
parents who can't do it on their own.
Let me tell you something. If my daughter come to me and tell me, Dad, I'm pregnant. My daughter come to me and said, Dad, I'm pregnant. Okay. She know who the guy is, okay. And I'm talking, she's of age. She's she's in her 20s, whatever. I ain't talking about high school. She in her 20s. She know who the guy is. He decides he don't want to be around. He don't want to be around there. He don't want nothing to do with that. I will refuse to let my daughter even put that man on child support. Fuck it. If he don't want to be here, we're not about to force nobody to be here. And I've seen these situations more often than none. It hurts that kid more growing up to try to forcing the guy to be around a kid. That shit hurt more than anything. I'd rather you just not be around.
What's the
Well,
difference
and I'm not talking about that
forcing to
part.
presence and forcing for financial
Yeah.
responsibility?
We're talking about the
That's fine.
finance.
But hold on with this scenario you just created. You said if my daughter comes to me and says I'm pregnant, he don't want to have to do with it. What about the girls who don't have a father to come to?
Right.
Or
So that's my
security?
situation.
Yeah. And so I respect that. That's your family 100%. But to say that there's no that there should be no financial responsibility
No.
in a country where we just put into place where the vast majority of states you can't even go in and get an abortion. So that's very.
So I'm not
that
saying
hit
the
me
young
the wrong
lady shouldn't
way.
get nothing. I'm not saying that she's supposed to just be on her last night not get nothing.
Right. So you
Well,
tell
I'm
me I
saying
can't abort, but then
No,
you tell me, there should be no child support system, as if it's only the woman. I can't make babies by myself.
Not for sure.
I can't ejaculate in myself.
But we also know there's several, even outside of child support, it's several things set up for women with kids.
Right.
Like
And
what?
To help you keep on moving. Because ultimately what I find is with the child support, and like you said, it is a lot of women out here that don't have, you can get that father figure, you don't have that family support. It's true. But what happens is a lot of these women out here that get on that child support and everything else that comes with being on child support, most of the ones that I see, and it's just what I see, and I'm sure everybody on this panel seen it, they ain't doing shit else. They ain't doing nothing else.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
Not working every day. There's exceptions to what I'm saying. Of course it is. There's
so you just have examples of bum ass bitches then, because that's not the average woman.
Yeah, that's
not the average woman at all.
Whoa. I said that's what I see most of the time.
And so again,
I ain't saying these my friends. These ain't my friends or homegirls.
Yeah,
no,
that's not most women in general.
Right. Now, there is a population of women who only want to sit around and collect government assistance for what it's worth. I don't know how they survive on it because it's not survivable for me, but I don't think that's the vast majority. Now, when we get to talking about child support, NBA money, what Papa's mentioned, I think there absolutely should be a cap, some type of more accountability,
they pay
whatever.
$100,000 a month.
I'm not for that, but when you talk regular child support, baby, I've gotten it, and I went through situations where I didn't get it, and Mama still had to make whatever work, whether Daddy was there or whether Daddy was not there. So for you to say, I'm not gonna show you a damn receipt. Are my kids healthy? Absolutely. Are my kids eating? Absolutely. Do they participate in every sport, everything? So no, I'm not showing you a motherfucking receipt for anything, nothing. So that I'm offended by that just as a woman. That's crazy to me. That's all of it.
50-50 or what?
It'll never be 50-50. And like you said, to the point, it'll never be 50-50 for the parent who has their responsibility, who's getting up in the middle of the night, who's responsible for every single thing regardless. It'll never be 50-50 on that, whether that's the mother or the father. And there are some bad women out there who make this argument even be, right? But I don't think that that's the vast majority. I don't.
So
I don't think it is. And
I think in out, especially in where I come from and stuff, you see more of the ones that's bad than you do good.
And you may, absolutely, you may. But again, regular child support, like I have a relative who had 3 kids. He was paying $200 a month for 3 kids. Realistically, who is that going to take care of?
Well,
$300 a month. Yes, one father.
They don't take care of nothing.
Right, it doesn't. So when you ask me and she worked 2 jobs, and he's paying that amount of child support. So realistically, I'm not showing you a receipt for nothing. I'm getting up in the middle of the night. I'm making games. I'm doing this. I'm making sure whoever the extended family was making sure that she had what she needed. But I'm not going to let you escape any financial responsibility because you don't want to do it. Like, I'm not going to allow that. And I think that's the wrong message to send, because what it does essentially is say, give fathers just a free reign to not do anything.
I don't believe we should get rid of the child support system. But I do agree that we need a way to track it, because it's the bum bitches that Nika B referred to that make it difficult for women who are being responsible with their child support. So it might be offensive, but something needs to be put in place, because you do have women who are abusing the system, men and women.
That's what I was about to say. Because see, one thing I say, we'll say people, because when you know, there's a majority of this, a majority of that, but things are changing. There are a lot more fathers with custody now. And I actually think that's why you're about to see some laws change, because believe me, women have louder voices and a platform. That's what's gonna make it change, because that's when you feel the heat. I can remember being in a class. I was going to a class and I heard a lot of women complaining about child support and about how much they were receiving and they were not getting a lot. And I listened for a while. Then I said, well, you know, I don't put my children's mom on child support, because I know the hardships that it will cause her, because I'm looking at this thing practically. Of course, I didn't want to be footing the bill for everything, but between the two of us, I knew that I was actually in a much better position just personally. So I'm not going to put that undue stress on her to break her down, because if she's broken down, my children will ultimately suffer.
I know women who've done the same.
If we had more common sense, we wouldn't need a particular system. But when something gets skewed and too far in the direction of the wrong things happening, the system has to help correct it. And then maybe they can relax some things. But like I think Scrap and K. Marie, you all alluded to, there's so much mismanagement of the money that child supports it end up being like a punitive thing. And so that's why some fathers just say, you know what, I'm not doing it. Matter of fact, I won't work. There's a lot of dudes that just because they feel like the system is so unfair. And if you get behind on child support, you get your license revoked, then it's hard to get back and forth. It's like there are a lot of problems with it. But I think when I thought about the voucher system, it's not the best. It's a better way. And see, when you put together a focus group of people to plan to try to get this situation improved, because the system is flawed. And so that was my suggestion, the voucher system, because it just breeds accountability, more accountability. And it's not a perfect system, but I'm saying if you have one better, put it on the table because it has to improve, because the main point of this thing is to support children. Some people think it's to repay them for all the work they're doing. No, it's actually to support children. It's not saying that parents don't do a hard job when it's a single parent. It's very hard. I'm a witness of it. But the child support is for the children. I've heard women say that don't have custody on paper and the father has custody, well, let me get child support so I can get on my feet.
That's
because
crazy.
the system will allow them to do it. If you don't have custody on paper, the father could have all 3 children, be taking them to school, doing all of that, but the system will still allow the mom to get paid because the custody hadn't been transitioned on paper. So there are just some things that we can improve, and it's not going to happen overnight because it didn't get ruined overnight.
All right, let me say this. Pops, you said that, you know, a lot of men don't pay child support because the system is so unfair, or people abuse the system and it's punitive. That is true. However, there are some men that don't pay it just because they don't want to.
And
that's
women.
right. That's right. And you're right. And women too. Yeah. So people, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, people. Okay, but you said men earlier. So
that's right.
People don't pay it. So everybody's not paying because of the system is unfair and because it's punitive. Some people are just trifling as hell. Some people are just trifling and just don't want to be responsible.
It runs the spectrum. It's not all of anything. But I'm saying there are some men that do that. There are some men that don't do that. What I'm saying is the system has holes in it. That's the point.
Yeah, it does.
And we have to get it corrected.
No, I mean it's a big situation, and I if we're gonna end it, I want to end it with this. There are some moms out here that struggle. There's some moms out here that struggle and have raised some very successful kids, respectful kids.
Parents.
Then did their thing. More often than none, is women that's having to raise these children. My hat goes off to any woman that can do that, especially the ones that's educated and doing it. My hat go off. My hat goes. It's nothing you can really say about that. It's a hard ass job, especially if you're a woman that's having to raise a man. It's hard. I know of several men that just didn't take care of their responsibilities. I hate that. On the flip side, I also know men that's taking care of their kids, and the mom ain't whatever, and it's especially hard for a man raising a daughter by himself. So I commend all those type of people. I think this is one of those conversations. You know, you're gonna have especially if you went through it. I can understand stronger. You know, I don't even want to call it your opinion. You went through it, so whatever you're saying about it, I get it. But it's one of those things is. I don't think as a mass is gonna ever be agreed upon, because you do got people that want their goddamn money. You got Blake Griffin. He played for a team in Los Angeles, the Clippers. Dude was having to pay like $150,000 a month in child support.
And that's ridiculous, because clearly that's not for the child, right?
And one of the things they pointed out with that is like, if dude don't keep playing, what he pays in child support would supersede his NBA contracts in like 2-3 years.
That's some bullshit.
And then, like, you know, for the regular people, I like that nigga. I'm gonna start using that for the regular.
I'm gonna say, because regular child support ain't doing that for me. Let me make sure this is clear too. Just because I got a child support order, that doesn't mean I'm getting the money.
Right, for sure.
So,
yeah, for
right.
sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I know plenty of folks
got an order.
Suspendee license. I don't drive nowhere.
They don't care. I need to hit on this. Something Pop said though. He said that you know, regarding his personal situation, that, you know, he didn't feel that it was right for him to put his baby's mother on child support, his kid's mother on child support. And, you know, kudos to you for that. To me, it coincides with what K. Marie said earlier about, you know, with the Tyrese situation and the ethics. That's your personal ethics. I don't agree that any parent who does not have and take primary custody of their kids should not be on child support, albeit man or woman. I have a male friend who struggled with the same thing, and I said, "You crazy?" I said, because if it were you, she would have you in the court and paying child support. No. So. In that same respect, undue stress or not, it's still your financial responsibility to contribute whatever you can to your child. And
I like
so
that.
for you not to do it, because and I feel like a lot of men don't do it and then expect all these accolades or this, oh, well, I'm a man, so I didn't make her pay. Make her pay. She should pay. But the flip side of that, he should be paying too. Now, however y'all work that out, when I'm my younger self, what I would have told myself is to keep probably child support off of it if we can, and let's work it out. But what we're not going to do is, and a lot of men do this, my personal opinion and experience is, if I'm sleeping with you when I want to sleep with you, then I'll pay more. But if I'm not, or I'm cut off, then I won't. And see, you can't go back and forth on that. So there's just a whole lot of other things you got to take into consideration when you talk about child support and not having the system in it versus having the system in it and all that. So
I like what you just said too, Nika B. Because that changes everything, and that would take two responsible people to work that out. When you say pay what you can,
yeah,
because I mean, and we talking about regular people. We talking about regular people,
right?
Everybody can't pay $500 a month. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't. And then, and this ain't no personal shot at nobody. I know, Nika B, you said you didn't deal with some things with child support. Pops, you said you dealt with some different things. This ain't no personal shot towards nobody on here. It's just general, because I think I've seen, I ain't gonna say I think, I know I've seen certain women mess with certain guys and get pregnant and have these kids, and then he's not taken care of. He wasn't shit when you were sleeping with him. Or she wasn't shit when you were sleeping with her. And now it's, well, he won't do this and she won't do that.
Right.
They wasn't shit at first. You had too much lust cloud in your brain. And now that everybody done got their rocks off, now you can
Not
see
the rocks off.
They got their old rocks off. But now, and Nika B, you said something, and that's more so what I meant when I said take the child support away. I wish we was at a place just in humanity to where two people could come together. Hey, we're not gonna be married, fine. If we're not gonna be together, fine. But let's come together and come up with something financially that we're gonna be able to take care of this child together. Whether they live with you, whether they live with me, we need to take care of this child together.
That would be ideal.
Just because the child lives with me, also, and I know you were saying this too, Nika B, just because the child lives with me, don't take the stress off the things I still have to do for them daily. I still got to do this other stuff for them daily. So me just even providing a roof is not enough. You still got to take them to practice. You still got to do this. You got to show up. You got to go to school. You got to pick up when they sick. Such and such can come up here and pick up. 9 times out of 10, they're not calling the person that they don't stay with. So all that stuff go into effect. So I wish we could just get to a place, especially in our community as Black people. I wish we could get to a place to where, stop raw dogging so much when you're 14, 15, 16 in high school and having these damn kids, because
they ain't gotta be that young. I wasn't that young.
No, not you, but you.
I know what I'm just saying.
Yeah, you think about it though.
You can be old and still be bad.
If you're 16 though, if you're 16 and having a kid in high school with some girl, realistically, I was gonna date 20 more people before I even thought about getting married. So the chances of doing what we supposed to do by this child, probably they're gonna be low. And then like you said, you 70 years old having kids and they taken care of.
Not 70.
You the one said earlier.
Everything dried up by then, but
no.
Not for men.
Ew.
And I would say, just for famous people and NBA players, all that, like there are women who pray, who make it their goal to I'm gonna have a baby by him because I'm gonna be set for the rest of my life. So I'm not talking about women like that. And even on somebody made a comment who I can't remember who or what. You out there getting your hair done, or your nails done. Okay, yeah. It's not for that. However, let's talk about this part of it though.
I saw plenty of cornrows.
Maybe I spent my last dime. I'm negative in my checking account before child support hit because the child is so well taken care of because I gotta wait for your money to go through the state and come to me and do whatever, right? So maybe I didn't get my hair done because my baby hair done and she had to have new shoes and she had to have this for school and she had to have that and the lights are on and all that. And so maybe the last money that came in was supposed to be my hair money. I just think we got to look at it. And I'm not saying this all the time. I get it. I look at women who get their hair done and their kids look like crap. That was never me. You know what I'm saying?
That's not
Their
cool.
kids look bad. I'll look bad way before my kids will ever look bad, ever, regardless to how we get the money. But I think you just gotta look at it from a broader perspective. Pops was right. Women use emotion a lot, and it don't always fair for men who are trying to do right. I had a really long conversation with my friend about this male friend who's going through a lot with child support. So it's not that I don't see that side. I don't think that that is always the vast majority. I've been on the flip side where a man got mad, you know, or somebody get mad because you starting a new relationship or you doing whatever. So when you try to keep the courts out of it and then he playing with the money or dangling in front of you, then you don't have a choice sometimes.
Using it as a carrot.
Another thing I hate to see is women who are struggling to take care of their kids. The fathers are not being responsible for taking care of their kids, and the women are too prideful to utilize that system and use or seek child support, and you allow your children to do without. You letting pride get in the way. I do see that.
But what if they know the person, like Nika B spoke on? You can have a court order and still don't pay it.
Well, I'm not talking about those women. I'm talking about the women who don't even
have enough love and respect for your children to go and get the order if he's not doing right. Yeah. But in that same act, go ahead.
I'm with you. I'm riding with you.
So now that pride shit, you know, that is that's something that I've seen, and you're cheating your children out of the basic necessities of life when you do that. Pride often gets in the way on both sides. So your pride, you know, can often make you punish this man, use the system to punish this man, or deprive your children of the basic necessities of life. Yeah. So ultimately, what I would love to see is people be able to co-parent and keep the system out of it and take care of their children. Just be responsible, amicable parents if they can't maintain a relationship.
I agree.
That sounds like some Coach Scrap said about 5 minutes ago.
but you know what? I've listened, and I think that, and this is just a pipe dream. This is just a hope. But through it all, if parents would just keep the main thing, and that is the children. K. Marie, I heard you say that some women are prideful and they won't use the system in certain instances because context is important. Certain women, it might seem prideful on the outside, but they might know the individual that is the father, and they might say, I'm not going to put him on child support because it would cause this big chasm between the two of us, and my children might suffer. Whereas if I let him even just piecemeal me with a little money, because a lot of women now, they extremely successful, white collar jobs, and actually probably out earning or on par with brothers. So they're saying, you know what, I'll sacrifice.
I'm not talking about those women. I'm talking about the women who are struggling and not trying to. I'm not talking about those women who don't need it.
Right. And that's right. We all have individual things. So I'm saying, that's why I said context is important. So in this context, I'm saying if you keep the main thing, the children, and however it is, if you have to seek money because that's most important to the children, seek the money. If it is not the best thing for the child, don't seek it. What I'm saying is keep the priority. Whatever mechanism you have to get to that, you get to that. But if we keep our children, and not only the material, but the wherewithal of just the nurturing and because fathers are important just like mothers are important. And if a mother, for whatever reason, if she has, I give women credit. They got enough sense to know if they need to go down there to Mr. Man at the state or not. Some women do it because they are smart. I give women credit for knowing what to do and when to do it. Some women, they might be prideful. That's a problem too. I'm saying, but when you keep the children at the top, keep your damn emotions out of it. We're talking about what's going to be best for these babies. Now, when you get into the pride, that's a problem. When men say, you know what, if I can't sleep with her, I'm not going to give her money, that's a problem because you're not putting your children first. If you keep your children first, forget all the pride, forget all the I'm upset because you cheated, you left me. If you keep those children first and do your best to always make every decision for those children, things will work out better. Now that's a pipe dream.
Absolutely.
I got a pipe dream.
What is that?
Let me hear that dream.
I want to see somebody go get a haircut with a child support card.
I say, open the door and let me in. Teach us all, preach your sins. Turn the cheek, let it slide. Give 5 on the black hand side. The black hand side. Oh, oh, oh. Black hand side, black hand side. Oh, oh, oh. The black hand side.